I decided to do an update on March 1st, 2020 on the C1 carbon 1 fertilizer. And I'm seeing on the peppers, it's making a difference because the ones on the left were treated, the ones on the right were not. Because I'm definitely seeing more, especially on top, like the bud development. Looks like all these guys are basically making the buds quicker. Like the stems are looking more vascular and thicker, a lot better growth. And the ones that were not treated just tend to not have the edge, just don't have to tend to have enough thickness in comparison. And it could be a coincidence, but it looks like on a faster growing plant like peppers, these are just regular orange bell peppers grown from seed. It looks like this stuff actually works on them. While on a slower type plant, a slow growing plant like cacaos, these were not treated. And in a month, these actually were treated, the smaller ones. I'm not really seeing much of a difference. Well, here the two on the left were treated, the two on the right were not treated. And it looks like one of the ones that were not treated, this was the biggest one to start with, but it looks like it's actually taken off even more. Maybe because that has plenty of more fertilizer anyways, but the one thing I'm seeing on the one that's treated is these are completely destroyed, but right here there's plenty of little tiny branches that are coming off of the bottom of these guys. So I'm not sure if that's coming from the carbon 1, if it has like cytokinin or growth regulators, but I'm not seeing this too much from other ones. Well, there are some coming from right here, but overall I don't think it really works on dragon fruits. Let's move on to strawberries. Now the back row was treated, like the row away from the camera. So this row right here, this was treated and this was not. And on the strawberries, these are the albion species. It looks like the ones that were not treated are actually growing bigger. But it could be because they were bigger plants to start out with. But regardless, even if that's the case, I don't really think it helps strawberries at all. Because the ones that were not treated, they're producing a ton of strawberries, at least this one. And one of the ones that are treated is doing it the same too, but as far as like the leaf size and overall potential, looks like albion strawberry is a lot bigger than like the generic Walmart pot one, because these things have only been growing for like less than a month, and they're actually bigger than these other ones that have been growing for a few months. Like the plants are literally bigger, like the leaves themselves. They might not have quite as many leaves, but that's a pretty big difference. And I haven't really done anything to treat these guys for all the generic type strawberries, but yeah, if you ever want to get a strawberry, albion strawberry grows really fast and really big. And it looks like it makes a really big berry too. Just looking at how these guys look in comparison to, let's say, a ripe one of these guys, they just don't compare. And moving on to my last trowel, this is a desert rose adenium seedlings. And based on how these guys look, the guys on the left are treated with C1 and the guys on the right are not, the control. And as far as overall mass, it's not a whole lot different. I'm going to say the treated ones have a slight edge, but the one edge I see is, it just seems like they tend to have more leaves and a little bit more foliar mass, more branching. For example, this one right here is completely loaded. But as far as leaf size, it looks like the untreated ones have bigger leaves on average. So, I'm not really sure why. These leaves are really big as a whole, and it doesn't look like it's making quite as much branching as the ones that were treated. I actually did the same thing with a tray of adeniums. The ones coming from right here and over, these were treated with C1, and the ones on this side were not. It's hard to really see too much of a difference at all, but yeah, as far as the conclusion, it seems like they make a slight difference in growth. Like I'm thinking with C1 treatment, they might tend to make a little bit more branching, a little more leaves, but as far as overall growth, I really don't see too much of a difference. I see some roots here. I guess a little less roots here on the untreated one, but as long as all the plants are fertilized just regularly, I really doubt there's a huge difference. But if you really want to grow for competition and you really want to get a plant as healthy as possible, you might want to give it a try. But as far as overall production, I think the most important thing is just having all your NPKs and your micronutrients. And yeah, looks like it will cause somewhat of a difference, but it's not really too significant. That's my conclusion.